when you guys are writing a song like "You Make My Dreams," and where does the production style come from in that song? Because it's a band, obviously, but then you got those, to me, iconic backing vocals. Hall & Oates backing vocals are so iconic in the sense that, at the time you had Queen, you had Mutt Lange, but then you guys came on and you started adding those kind of big stacked backing vocals into your hits as well. It was kind of like before anybody else was doing that. I mean, you did say that it was kind of like the doo-wop kind of influence there, but where was the idea to put those style backing vocals on those tracks?
It stems from doo-wop, street corner singing, and it also comes from the great background vocal style of Philadelphia R&B that we grew up listening to, and that Gamble and Huff, made so famous. But we were part of that. We knew Gamble and Huff. We made our first records with those guys, in the 60s. So background vocals have always been as you say, they've really been a trademark of what Daryl and I have done. We have always spent a lot of time on them. We've always, we have a very unique approach to background vocals, and we love doing it. It's funny that here in Nashville, it's background vocals are not that popular. It's not that popular on a lot of Nashville records.
No, not really. You listen to any country stuff, and I really think
I do them all on my records, and a lot of
you
people.
Gotta.
I got to do it, and a lot of them I do myself. I just stack my own vocals. So it's just a thing. It's one of those things. I love doing it. Daryl loves doing it, and when we do it together, we've got this technique that we use to create a lot of different textures.
So talk me through how you go and record these backing vocals, because if you listen to like "You Make My Dreams" or even "Kiss on My List" or "Private Eyes," how do you decide which harmonies you're going to be doing? Who's singing the super high parts, by the way? Is that you or is that Daryl?
Both of us.
Both of you.
We both can do the same thing. There's some songs where it's mostly Daryl, like a song like Sarah Smile. That's mostly Daryl's voice on the background vocals, because he wanted it to be very pure. And when you have two voices, you always have what ends up happening, what we learned about our voices is when they blend together, my voice creates a thickness and a mid-range resonance, and his voice has a very much more of a cutting, kind of edgy sound.
Yeah, it's very throaty.
When you put those things together, it has this thing. So sometimes, if you really want to get technical, what we do all sorts of weird combinations of things. Like sometimes we'll both sing the same note.
At the same time?
At the same time. And then, or we'll sing it separately, but we'll sing the same note. And then we'll go back and we'll do it again on a second harmony part, but we'll be singing the same note. That's one of the things we do. Another thing that we do is one of us will sing two parts and the other person will sing two parts. And then we'll flip. And then the person who sang the high two parts sings the low two parts, and the person who sang the low two parts sings the high two parts. So it's all these different, and they all make a slightly different sound.
Right. So even when you go and record, say you record, the high part, or they see your every move, like those parts. So is there a difference between you and him doing it at the same time versus doing it separately and then layering them together?
Mm-hmm. There is, as it seems weird, but it is.
Yeah.
There's actually a difference. Because when we sing together, like let's say we both want to sing the high part together. There's something about the way our two voices beat against each other. And my pitch is never going to be exactly, and you have to remember, we did all this stuff before Pro Tools, before auto-tuning, before all that. And not only that, we had to sing every part from the beginning of the song till the end. We couldn't just sing a chorus and then fly it in.
So you did, okay.
Absolutely.
You went through the whole song.
All the way through.
If you were going to layer, say, 24 tracks of backing vocal, you had to do it 24 times right through.
That's right.
Wow.
There was no cutting and pasting. We sang it. We sang it live, and that's what we did.
So if somebody was flat on the second chorus on take 5, would you have to redo the whole thing?
No, we could punch it in. We go back and punch in that section, of course. Yeah, we did a lot of punching in. And a lot of times we would do multiple tracks, and then we pick the best one, and then we say, okay, that's the best melody. Now we got that. Now we'll put the third on it. It'll go third below, third above, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other thing we've done is we sing in octaves, which a lot of people don't do. The entire
Right.
song of She's Gone, the lead vocal is in octaves. I'm singing low and he's singing high, but we're singing the exact same thing. We're just singing in octaves the whole way through the song.
Yeah, now that you say that, I'm hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always loved it about your music. You know, when I was getting into radio, when I was 15 years old, and I was never really exposed to Hall & Oates music when I was growing up. I was a massive Shania Twain fan. I was really into Van Halen, and because of Shania Twain, I eventually found Def Leppard and like all the rock stuff, and I was big into pop.
All the Mutt Lange stuff, yeah.
Yeah, all the Mutt Lange stuff. I'm a massive Mutt Lange fan. That's why I mentioned about.
And you do know that Mutt Lange is singing all those backgrounds, right?
Oh yeah, of course, it's all him. That's why
a lot of people don't know that. But.
Yeah, people talk about like, oh yeah, Mutt this, Mutt that. I'm like, you do realize that it's just him and Shania on those albums, right? Like he is the Def Leppard backing vocal. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he actually sang the lead on those records as well, and then had the lead singer copy him.
Yeah, that's true. No, a lot of people don't believe that, but.
He's a megalomaniac, but you know what? The results speak for themselves.
Yeah, there's a demo of Pour Some Sugar on Me online of YouTube, and it's Mutt singing the lead vocal, and it's so close to Joe, and even the articulations of certain words. And
well, he probably had Joe copy him absolute phrase for phrase, note for note.
Yeah.
Well, he would do that with the Nashville sessions with Shania Twain too. He would have the band play, because I heard this from guys who were on those sessions. They would cut a couple tracks, and then he would take them home and he would recraft those tracks. He would take the guys and move them around, do whatever he needed to do. Then he'd come back in the next day and they'd play the same song again. He'd go, now play it like this. And he would play them what he had done with them. He played them how he manipulated their performance,
right,
and said, okay, now do this. And they would replay it again the way he wanted.
So I guess he'd go home, comp it, then like kind of dissect, take this guitar lick, throw it here, but then play it back and say, hey, perform this.
That's right.
As one take.
And that's why those records are so damn good. I mean, they're masterpieces,